Hello everyone, it's Jamal Thomas. Welcome to the Progressive Soapbox. I have a question, and hear me out. For the reformists, for the appeasers, I have a question. Say you got your wish, and in 2016 Hillary Clinton won. You have President Hillary Rodham Clinton. And once she's in office, she passes the Trans-Pacific Partnership. She privatizes Social Security. She starts a kerfuffle with Vladimir Putin. The Democratic Party itself was positioned in a way that was antagonistic towards Russia because they went with this thing of Trump and Russia in the election itself. So of course there was going to be a certain momentum carried over to it. Say all of that's true. Say all of that's true. It would be a complete rebuke of what it means to be a Democrat, at least even in the honest, classical sense of the word, talking like the FDRs. But it would also be an outright lie in regards to what took place during the campaign. Just say for the moment it's true. 2020 comes around. Hillary Clinton is running against Ted Cruz. She's running against Ted Cruz. Do you vote for Hillary Clinton again? Do you vote for Hillary Clinton again? She's repudiated her own positions at that point. Hillary Clinton essentially aped Bernie Sanders' positions in that race because she understood that she needed to move to the left. I listened to a campaign ad one day and I was like, holy shit, is that Hillary Clinton? This woman who's speaking to me in a campaign ad is completely unfamiliar to me. So she moved to the left, meaning that to do those things, she would have had to literally lie during the campaign and go, repudiate her base. 2020, do you vote for her again against Ted Cruz? Do you make the same argument that, oh my God, Donald Trump is a maniac, oh my God, Ted Cruz is a maniac? Nah, can't do it. I gotta vote for her. Is that the same argument? And if that's the same argument, say Kamala Harris takes over in 2024. Hillary Clinton, Kamala Harris wins. Kamala Harris continues this rightward shift in the country. Do you vote for her again in 2028? I'm making this point. The argument that the Republican is horrible has been used going back since McCain, at least in my lifetime, going back to Clinton, going back to McCain, George Bush. In that case, it was right. But then the question becomes, would have Al Gore have also attacked that particular country? Wouldn't there have been a political pressure for him to do it? Going straight from the point. The main point is, what can the Democrat do for you to say, okay, I can't vote for this person? Where's that line? And does that line exist? And if that line does not exist, doesn't that also just mean you're willing to vote for the Democrat regardless of the situation because you're terrified of the Republican? Your country has drifted to the right. It's drifted to the right because one party, the Democratic Party, understood, and they were correct to understand, that as long as they were a little least worse, you would vote for them. And I'm just kind of making a start point that if Hillary Clinton was in that office, she did all those things that you hated, and you're up to vote for her again in 2020 against Ted Cruz. If you're willing to vote for her again after doing everything that you hated, A, what's the point of your vote? And B, can you admit that that's not necessarily a winning strategy? You're not playing a game against Republicans, by the way. The game that you're playing is the people who are owning the Republicans, the people who are owning the Democratic Party. Between the two-party system, your vehicle was supposed to be the Democratic Party. That party has been bought out. The party has been bought out. In the process of that party is being, quote-unquote, bought out, I'm using the term bought out, when they run against Republicans, yes, can be batshit crazy, but it doesn't matter Both sides, for the most part, serve the same ends. The Democrats are going to pass tax cuts in the same way Republicans are going to pass tax cuts. The Democrats are going to move the country to the right. The Democrats are going to take the position or take the arguments of the right in regards to their framing of reality. They're essentially Republicans. Republicans are just off the political spectrum. The Democrats have taken that spot. They've subsumed that area. If you would agree with me on that, which is just true, that's just true. If you would agree with me on that, then what measure, what force, what pressure do you have to get that party to change? If you're saying, yes, I would vote for Hillary Clinton again over Ted Cruz because I'm terrified of Ted Cruz, and you also just granted me that she did all of the things in that office that you hated, what's the point of your vote? And what is the strategy you're going to use to try to change that party? What's the strategy? Do you believe that if that party continued to lose, that party would change? Meaning, it would have to change one way or the other. It would implode because it couldn't necessarily get anybody elected, and nobody's going to give a party money if that party can't get elected. Or it would change. It wouldn't have a choice but to change. Whether that's being cannibalized from people clawing on the Democrats, like that scene in Harry Potter, all those people coming from the dead were streaming on Harry Potter. That's kind of a weird reference, but I'm making the point. People are going after them, and to some degree that's true. Our revolution, justice, Democrats, etc., etc. But something clearly needs to be done. And continuing to do the same thing that you've always done and expecting to get some other result is literally insanity. It's literally insanity. If you're willing to vote for Hillary Clinton after doing everything that you hated, your vote is worthless. Your vote is just taken for granted. If you're willing to say no, the problem is we've let it go too far. I mean, as the party moved further and further and further to the right, the Republican Party also went further and further and further to the right. Meaning the moment that you're playing chicken at this point, it becomes a harder pull. It becomes this thing of, it's a more difficult road, let me put it that way. Because it's essentially playing a game of chicken. You're making a point of saying, either you change or you die. I'm no longer playing a part of this particular game. I'm not playing in this strategy anymore. I'm out. You win without me. If enough people say you win without me, and it is very clear that they can't win without you, it would implode or they would change. Does that mean that there's a potential for a Republican taking office? Yes. Does that mean you should give the Democratic a pass in every situation, regardless of what the party does? The answer is no. If Hillary Clinton gets in that office, does everything that you hate, you have two options. You can primary her, which is not going to go anywhere because Democrats are not going to primary their candidate. Or you cannot vote for them. You cannot vote for them. You can effect your will by abdicating yourself out the process. Abdicating your vote. Yeah, I'll leave it at that. I'm curious about the answer. I'm curious about the answer. She gets in that office. She does everything that you hated. She lies flagrantly. Will you vote for her again? Mind you, many of the people voted for her after they cheated their candidate, which is mind-blowing to me. Completely subverting democracy, lying about it the entire time. It was clear that the process was rigged. They lied about the process being rigged. And those people still voted for it anyway. Where's your line? That's all I'm asking. It's not hostile. That's all I'm asking. I'm not going to belabor the point. I'll leave it at that. Alright guys, if you enjoy the content, feel free to share, like, subscribe, and of course, you can always support Patreon. Thanks guys.